Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And we're here to talk about board game experiences, why they're so important, and why this little box might be the best one of the year.
So you hit the subscribe button, do it, and let's go. All right, Wayne, let's start this conversation with what is Here Lies from DVC Games?
Here Lies from DVC Games is a cooperative limited communication game. It is a deduction game, and it utilizes kind of a similar approach to something like Mysterium or Murder in Hong Kong, where you have one silent player that's trying to guide the rest of the players cooperatively towards a solution. The solutions in Here Lies are essentially murder cases.
Yeah,
right?
you're here to solve a case.
You're here to solve a case, exactly. Here lies poor, Joe Bloggs, who has died of some horrible thing.
You're basically your corpse on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And you are trying to get the team to come to a solution. And this is done through a series of scenarios.
Yes.
There is like a bunch in the box in the scenario book. But there are loads online, and you can even come up with your own scenarios because of the way that the game is done, which we'll talk about later.
And news. At Gen Con, the second box has just been announced, so there's going to be even more scenarios.
I'm so happy.
But
That is the first I've heard about that. I'm so excited about that. That's so great. But yeah, that's essentially the process of the game. You're trying to, as a silent player, get everyone towards the solution. And the solution, Matt, is basically the case itself.
Yeah.
What happened, when it happened, what was the murder weapon, who was involved, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so basically you're trying to be Detective Columbo.
Columbo or Sherlock Holmes, etc.
Sherlock Holmes
yeah.
in the game. So there is this aspect of the silent guide that is kind of like a DM, let's call it. The DM will know the case, will know the answers to every question that the people will have. Each case will be different in terms of like, some of them you will need to find out who did it and why they did it and with what weapon they did it. Some of them will be like finding out the I don't know. So
what was the plan?
The plans or
any like recent events that happened.
Secrets that the victim or the killer had. All sorts of things. So each one of the scenarios is going to be very different. Yes. So you will feel not playing the same thing over again. But it's very important, of course, for the whoever is playing this DM role to be a little bit in the part and needs to kind of like steer and guide, because you can give helps without giving helps and so on. Each player will have certain type of cards, so each player is playing a famous detective from the past, including Sherlock Holmes in this box, and each one will have a special power that, for example, you might ask a specific question, or you might ask the DM to do certain action. For example, give me the wrong answer for this for this question, for example, stuff like that. So each one will play this cup of cards. The cards have a timing cost because the game is played in days.
Exactly.
So each day will be subdivided in a certain timing, or so 2, 3, or 4 timing, and each card will have a cost of a 1, 2, 3, depending on how powerful this card is. But the game flow is very easy. Got my card. I ask you a question if you're playing the DM. You give me some kind of
sort of answer, exactly.
And at the end of each day, you're gonna give us, or the DM give us clues in terms of like, have you said the right words?
How close were you? Yeah, basically, for each of the categories.
Putting some green ticks or red X's on this or that things. For example, the weapon for the murder. If I keep saying that it's been a knife and Wayne puts a red X on it, I'm definitely on the wrong.
You're on the wrong track.
on the wrong
exactly. Path. You have these wonderful asymmetric player decks, as Matt says, where everyone has their own unique deck of cards with different powers. And what I love about this is they lean into different things. Some of them might be focused on the body, right? Some are more focused on deduction through elimination of options.
Yeah.
Some are focused on getting the DM to like draw things.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it adds
cool.
all this like mini mechanics inside the game. Some of them you will have like some kind of like rebus or just kind of like you give a list of letters
Word
to the
puzzles,
word puzzles stuff there. So it makes a lot of different not genre but the different puzzle games inside this little box. But for how the game goes, you just keep playing scenarios and until you play
until you get bored of it, which frankly will take a long time, because I think I've played 4 or 5 cases of this back to back, and I've just been fully engaged the whole time. And what I like very much is, if you are more of a creative thinker, you'll love the silent player, the DM role, the lead investigator in this game. If you're more of a deductive thinker, you would love to be the rest of the players, the cooperative team. And it rewards both sides. The lead investigator's job is challenging because you have to think creatively. You can't specifically give them exactly the answers unless there's a special power that tells you can.
Yeah.
So you have to really think about how creative you can be with guiding them in a way. It's just absolutely magical, and everything in this is completely writable. You can be writing on cards, drawing on cards, and everything is dry wipe, etc.
And they have your favorite board that is a cloth board.
It's the only thing I don't like about it, but that's fine. It's barely used. It's just there as like a dead body, or essentially like that, a skeleton.
So going, what we want to do with this video is slightly different, because the review, we can tell you now, we love this game.
This game is amazing, certified banger.
It just like is absolutely a banger. We can tell you now, and we can tell it's got its couple of cons. For example, if you play all the game as the DM, as the lead investigator, the one giving the clues out, you're gonna know all the cases, so you probably don't
can't play them
want,
again.
you can't play them again. But if you really like that, you can introduce a lot of other people, because this is one of the first pro. It's a game for everybody. You can play with people that love board games, because some of the cases are very challenging.
Extremely hard.
And the puzzles inside that the people needs to unlock, they are quite challenging. But the idea behind the game is that you can literally take any of your friends, anybody, the family, whatever, and you can have a great time guiding them through.
Guiding them, exactly.
Or just being part of the things is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. In the box, you do have cases that will run from, as Matt says, very easy, like introductory cases, where you only have a very simple scenario, all the way through to extremely hard, which will make your brain melt out of your ears in a really fantastic way. Each one will get you a good chunk of gameplay as well. You're probably thinking about 30, 40 minutes per each case. You can really, and maybe a little bit longer if it's taking the team a little bit of time. It encourages discussion. It's such a great social experience.
It is, yes.
In terms of other, a potential critique of this game is that it is going to be group dependent. There will be groups that do not like this because it is a game which you have to be social, you have to be communicative.
Yeah.
This is not stick your head down and play a puzzle. It is not a cooperative game that is entirely mechanical. It is a cooperative game which relies on the interaction between the players, talking about what your cards can do. Oh, I could do this. What do we think about that? And then when we get to the end of the day, when we've run out of time, we've played all of our cards, having a stab at what we think might have happened. And it's just a fabulous social experience, which I appreciate wouldn't be for everybody.
But it's a game that, if you like, again, any social deduction games, this is like a reduced version of any of the famous big ones. Like even like if you got a group that regularly play Blood on the Clock Tower, this one is a 2 to 5 people. You don't always have all the other people to play Blood on the Clock Tower. This is a smaller version of it. I'm not saying it's the same game, but it gives you a lot of but it's gives a lot of deduction things. Yes. But at the same time, if you love games like Codenames to play with your family, this gets that same feelings where in Codenames you got the agent giving the clues, and the other people they need to try to find the thing.
Exactly.
This is a little bit more than Codenames, but it gives the same feeling. So for all those groups of people, or if you like this kind of game, absolutely this is a must-have.
Absolutely top tier.
But what I want to talk about really is it's more like in the wide thing, because it's this is a very small box.
£20 or so, I think.
It's a £20 or something, yeah, probably around that.
Yeah.
Depending where you live
Yeah,
in
you
the
go,
world.
yeah.
But Wayne, why this game is so important to us this year?
It's so important to us this year, Matt, because there are so many big box games that have not delivered the experience that this game has. And I think that's what we really want to talk about. And this game inspired that whole conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about that?
Let's go. So the general point of this video is experiences. What the experiences in board games. Because as you said, there are those like the mega games. We're not gonna name names, but there are the £200 game, or the ones that make £5 million on Game Found or Kickstarter. That they are absolutely fantastic game. They play brilliantly. The flow of the games is fine. The mechanics of the games are hyper-tuned, and the rules and the components and the artwork.
Yeah, it's all good.
But then they miss that spark, that experience that lets you get off the table and be like, I really had a great time.
The X factor of whatever it is, right?
Because this game is not a 15 minutes game. It's a 40 minutes game.
Yeah.
So
yes.
And if you're slow, probably a little bit more. But let's say you play a couple of cases, you ending up to an hour and a half. You can end up to a couple of hours. But you finish the experience of the game. At least that's what happened to us.
Yeah.
Having that kind of like, wow, I felt something
interesting in there.
game.
Exactly. I felt a sense of magic, of discovery, of the game making me feel smart. Like that I've discovered something, which is right. The game,
it's a big thing.
Well, it's a big thing, right? When a game makes you feel clever, you're like, oh, I discovered that. And and also from the person behind the desk, for the lead investigator, you also feel a sense of accomplishment, because you cannot give direct clues, and you feel proud of yourself for getting them there. When they finally get there, it's magically like, oh my god, you got it.
Yeah, that's
so cool.
Yeah, there's some other things about this game. It's just like, it's separated in two parts, but you played the DM more than me while we're playing this. But whichever roles you're doing, the engagement and the fun and that spark is there for both sides, and I find it is like a fantastic thing. But again, that things that makes you think like, why this makes you think like, oh wow, I had a fantastic experience.
Yeah, it's that feeling in your gut, right? And I think it is partly a couple of things. It is, again, we talked about the game making you feel clever is important. To feel like you had a good experience.
Way more than we are.
Yeah, way more than we actually are. Exactly. It tricks me into thinking I'm really smart. There is a sense of discovery in the game as well, emergent discovery, where you instead of just having rote mechanisms which you will trigger one by one, you're creatively using mechanisms, or using the mechanisms of the game in interesting ways, which could be unique to the group and the scenario and the discussion at the table. And it could be entirely unique in that situation, right? So that's really interesting as well, where you can utilize and bend the mechanisms in such a way as to be it has to feel like it's flexible. It feels like there's more in there. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's that as well. And I think also for me, cooperative games in general have slightly more of that experience than the competitive games. For me. Not entirely, which we'll come to some examples later, but for me I think cooperative games lend themselves to that sense of shared discovery and experience, which I find quite exciting.
Yeah, because the overcoming is probably that is the human nature of overcoming problems together. Makes you feel better just because you overcome that obstacle.
You've overcome a shared struggle. You have connected as people as well, right? And that's probably another thing as well, right? Regardless of whether it's competitive or cooperative, having a game that encourages the connection of human beings at the table is also very exciting and very important.
So we're talking about experiences and that fire that you find, like once you finish a session of this of that game. Did you have any other games that you think that we should name in terms of like?
Yeah, let's run some off. And I think there are some that were definitely worth mentioning, because I think for me and for you, one of the greatest gaming experiences I've ever had is playing through The King's Dilemma. And The King's Dilemma is an example of a competitive game.
Yes.
Because it is a competitive game.
Yeah.
It is a fully competitive game where you are playing for yourself. There will only be one winner at the end of all of the
And of the very long
campaign. Very, very long campaign, exactly.
But it doesn't matter.
It does not matter. The experience is what counts, right?
Yes. It's as we always say, like the King's Dilemma and the Queen's Dilemma that we need to get on the table very soon. It's more than a game. It transcends what I think a game is.
Yes.
The game mechanics are simple.
Yes.
The voting system, the power system, but it's everything else that make the experience of the game. That's why it's definitely one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
And it goes on something like, for me, for example, something like Hero Quest is more than the game itself. It's simple. It's a dungeon crawl. It's simplified, or anyway, it's from the still more or less the rules are the same one from 1989. But it's the experience that you create.
Yeah.
The adventure together, the player playing the DM makes the magic, and the people playing against him, they group up and try again to overcome that things, but
let's
giving
explore
you
those
the fire.
Let's explore some similarities at least between, let's take Here Lies and The King's Dilemma, just as an example. Some similarities we can probably say is relatively straightforward mechanically.
Yes.
But rules that will bend according to the group at the table, right? Simple rules that would be utilizing, like in King's Dilemma, for just a negotiation. You're bending what can be or can't be done, how people will vote through very simple mechanisms. That's also in there. You have the sense of overcoming a shared struggle, even though it's competitive. You have a dilemma that will need to be resolved one way or another. And you need to make sure that it's resolved in the best way for you, even if you lose the vote, you need something out of it, right? There is that element as well, and a sense of discovery. Like in this game, also in The King's Dilemma, you also have a great sense of discovery.
Yeah, because there is a mystery. It's trying to sort out the mystery, or there is something that's gonna happen, and a clue is gonna open up a wide range of options that were not there before, because you haven't thought about that, and then you
100%.
You find a little piece. And same things in King's Dilemma, when one of the event cards comes out and everything changed on the board, and you're just like,
100%.
oh wow, I haven't seen these things coming.
And if it's all right, man, I'd like to just mention another one that I think is very important. And again, this is going on the cooperative, and this will be the last cooperative one I think I would like to talk about, because otherwise I'll bang on about cooperative games forever. And it's not that video. It's Pandemic Legacy. And again, shared struggle, sense of discovery, the mechanisms, it's the pandemic system, so there is always going to be the pandemic system. But because of the way that the legacy system works, it does bend in unusual ways.
Yeah.
And you need to, as a team, figure out how can you work around, like, LA being completely destroyed and wiped off the map.
And all the surprises that we're not going to spoil. If you haven't played the legacy version,
correct.
We encourage everybody to do it, because it's probably one of the best legacy games that you can play. It's pandemic.
Yes.
But
it's a lot of pandemic.
The surprises that you get out of the box definitely are worth the game. But yeah, absolutely. I love that kind of experience. But going back to the original point of why we do love something like this, why something like this, not specifically just this game per se, when we found this kind of like gems, they really fire up for us.
Yeah.
Because of all those like big worker placement, financial, and
massive
like 4 hours games that every rule is perfectly balanced for, but like when you like it. And you finish it out, they're good puzzle for your head, a good puzzle around the table. If you win, you are satisfied because, oh, I beat everybody around the table. But they don't leave you much. They don't leave you, and you're gonna jump on the next one.
Yeah.
Feeling exactly the same. Oh, today this arrived from GameFound, from crowdfunding. Let's play it, 4 hours, perfect game. Am I gonna leave it there for another 2 months? I'm gonna play it again, but like instead something like this, or Eternal Decks or stuff. Games of that,
just really magical.
How does it happen that we just like, and we'll need to do another game, and we need to do another game, and we play it, and we play it, and we play it.
There could be, I mean, there's an argument to be made that a lot of modern wide Euro game design, or even just modern game design, take the Euro out of it, modern game design.
Come on with it.
Is very much focused on style over substance and on just hitting the release schedule, right? It was just like, okay, we've got to release a new game this year.
Yeah.
We've got to pay for last year's crowdfunding. This is, do you know what I mean?
But that's another video. That's
another conversation. So we need to do this. So here we go. We're going to make a perfectly fine game that looks beautiful.
Yes.
Has a great rule set and that you will enjoy.
Yeah.
But it will have the depth of a puddle.
Yeah. We're all going to run to buy it. We're going to play it. We're going to like it.
It'll be fine.
And then you're gonna stay on the shelf for a long time.
And it will probably eventually cycle out of the collection because of the 5,000 games that are released every single year. Not everyone is going to be excellent. And sometimes you just have to fall over a gem and then figure out that actually you don't need all of the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
You don't need all of the big production. You don't need all of the hype for a game to be absolutely magic.
What you need is the experience.
That's all that matters.
But it's not just these few games that we mentioned. Of course, there's been a lot of other games where we felt that spark inside, and when we finish.
That magic, and for different reasons as well. We talked about the shared struggle and the feeling of discovery and all of that stuff, which is amazing in board games. But there's also games that just push the boundaries of what you think a board game is
yes,
or should be or could be, right? There's plenty of those games, and some of these potentially would fall into that. But even games like Limit, the last game by Ludonaut, just being what is essentially a political science project.
Yes, there's a lot of math behind the game, but the feelings that you get being based on real numbers and real math and
method, exactly,
all that stuff,
method,
and build on algorithm on how civilization moves and stuff like that.
It's barely a board game.
But when you play it, you say it's barely a board game, but every time that you do something in that game, you feel like, oh wow, this is actually how things happen.
This is like how the gears of history have been manipulated. Right? Someone did this thing, and this is how this changed the history of life.
Yeah, and it's very cool how the game, something like that goes out of the table, like literally comes out of the box. Another one in that series can be like Hegemony. It's that very same feelings of like these real political things that I think we should do a proper video on politics games. There's a proper game, but like real
loads of stuff to talk about.
Let us know if you want us to do something like that. But on top of that, then you got that cinematic,
just pure cinema, just like chucking dice and action happening. Like for example, in a recent game, which is just an IP game that we didn't know if it would be much good, and it was just Battle of Hoth, and me and Matt had an absolute killer time with it. Yeah, pure magic. And this is like the almost when you've got cinema. You've got about sense of discovery and all of this stuff, and about games being bigger than the table. But then you have games that just make you feel like a kid again.
Yes.
And that is its own sense of magic, right?
Yes, exactly. Like as you said, Battle of Hoth is the game perfect? No.
No.
Is all those minis needed? Probably not.
No.
Is it balanced like when you're rolling the
dice? No.
Absolutely not. But at the same time, it's a game that you start playing, you just can't stop. You're just like having the time of your life because, as you say, it just brought us back when we were this tall
playing Star Wars toys
and just like doing pew 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 pew, and just like again, there's the fire, the spark. Go watch we did a very throughout like review on why these games is great. Again, it's a re-implementation of Memoir 44. Yes, we do know it, but they just found the right key for that lock.
Yes.
The right system with the right IP in one of the most like well-known sci-fi war scene
pure magic. Pure magic
ever existed.
It's been, it's a magical thing when you find those games that really bring that spark and fire out of you. But we would like to know, what games bring that fire out of you? Let us know.
Yeah, which one is your favorite, not game, your favorite experience before gaming?
What is it about the game that gaming experience that really brings that fire out and makes you really love it in your gut, in your soul?
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of you that are going to mention, I would say it earlier, Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah, of course.
That is always like a mega experience for the player. Some of you will say TI4, because that is an experience.
Another big, massive experience, cinematic.
So we want to know all of your downs in the comments below.
Yeah, please let us know in the comments below. And if you would like to hear more from Board Stupid, do us a favour and...
well, check the Patreons, because we got a lot of things in there. We got more in-depth conversation, we got a blog, we got our video podcast, there is giveaways for every month. There is the WhatsApp group full of like
amazing people.
Absolutely. We are arranging live meetups, so a lot of things. So you go and check that one.
Absolutely, and it also supports the channel, so we appreciate you. But another way that you can support the channel is, of course, just
hitting the subscribe button.
Do that. It's super important for us, and you have no idea, but it really does help. So if you're one of the many people that watches our show regularly and hasn't subscribed, do us a favour, just ding it.
Ding it, and we'll love it.
Absolutely. Check out the rest of our videos. Enjoy the Board Stupid experience.
Ciao.
Game reviews for you.